In the bottom right, in the purple.
Yo Flash Whoops Parting.
In the upper left, in the yellow. He is.
KT Roster Life.
So if you're just now joining us, this has been the weirdest series ever.
Yeah.
We started out with Parting sending out 2 probes on a 3-player map, doing a proxy gate inside Life's main. Life spotted it, but it was close. Parting concedes. Game 2, I mean, just insane cannon rush, okay? He was, he cannon rushed 1 base, then 2, then 3. For these other expansions, and it turned into a game that barely Life comes back with by chipping away at Parting with swarm hosts. And then game 3 is just this crazy base trade situation where Parting just barely had enough. We are not having a normal series here.
No, and I mean, this is, if those first 3 games are any indication how the rest of the series is going to go, you guys got to get out there, tell your friends, get on here and see this. This is the Code S Finals, and tell me that this does not feel fantastic.
Now notice,
I mean, oh God, this is great. What a series.
He's sending this probe back here. He wants to make it look like maybe he's going to put a cannon here. But in fact, it's just going to be a Nexus here. Really econ-oriented build here for Parting. The pool has started for Life, but it's going to be a little while before it can come out. And it looks like he's gearing up to get his 3rd hatchery, which is going to be in your typical 3rd hatchery spot right over here in the north.
Wow. Looks like Protoss a little bit favored as far as the GSL map win rate. Of course, this map is played in like every single league out there. See a lot of great games on both sides of it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice quick 3 base. This is very like normal econ play that we're seeing from both players.
It's so far, it's starting to look like it should be a pretty ordinary game. The next thing we want to watch for is when the cybernetics core finishes, what kind of tech path is Parting going to go for? Parting's greatest successes were not on your standard StarCraft kind of game. I mean, he was really playing by his own rules when he won the World Championship Series in Shanghai back in 2012.
Well, see if he can win here in 2015 in the Code S. Both of them just going, once again, for good econ builds, not too greedy, but not too defensive either. Both paying each other a lot of respect in this game.
Well, I think when you get this far in a series, and make no mistake, guys, I know we talk about Life, being really aggressive, and he's got control, and Parting being really crazy and unpredictable, but these guys can play a perfect, well, I don't think we're going to have that, though, but these guys can play your standard perfect StarCraft 2 game just as well.
Yeah.
Now, a second ago, I was going to say that it looks like Parting's opting to do that here, but we see a hidden pylon over here in the center right.
Yeah, you would lean towards that being like DT.
Yep.
Over anything else, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Like, you can hide something like an Oracle there, and it looks like that will be it.
Now, this isn't too crazy.
No, it's okay. Like, the odds of that being scouted very low, and the odds of it being scouted in the main base 0, which is where they focus most of their scouting. So, definitely something to keep in mind there. By the way, I want to talk about these openings just a little bit more before this game picks up, because I love the respect that they're showing each other. You can actually look at StarCraft opening strategies as like a boxing match when it's like a best of 7, where it's like, okay, maybe you do want to come out fast and furious and see if you can catch your opponent off guard, get that quick KO. But then eventually, when your opponent's going tit for tat, maybe you slow it down a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
You play the longer game, realizing, okay, this is going to go to the late rounds. I can't get a quick knockout on this guy. And that's the type of openings we saw from both them here in Game 4 after it's 2-1. Which is as close as it can be after 3 games.
We have the Oracle.
It's basically tied for 3 games.
They can't both be 1.5, so yeah. Now the Oracle is going to come out here. The real question is, how many drones will the Oracle kill? Because it looks like Life is already prepared before the Oracle even gets there, with these Spore Crawlers finishing up.
Yeah, and Parting is going to grab a second Oracle. It's something we've seen him do before. It's something that's gaining a little bit of popularity recently as well. Apparently, if one Oracle can kill some drones, 2 Oracles can kill twice as many.
Yeah. And if you keep those alive, I mean, they could be a real nuisance to the Zerg throughout the game, even in a later on push. use them to detect or use them to just deal damage. So he hasn't done any damage so far. This is also very standard safe play from Parting. Parting, just now that he has the Oracle out, he can use that if he needs to defend the third base. And so he's going to warp this in. The Oracle's going south now. And from here, it's up to Parting. You know, how exactly is he going to tech? We've seen some 3-base timings, Stalker, Blink, with some sentries that can be quite effective. In fact, we saw Hero do something like that and lose in his final game against Life. Had that game not gone that way, we would have had a PvP finals.
You know, this game so far looks exactly like what Parting did against Solar on Catalina. But with that one, he ended up killing 6 drones. So that is a big difference, 6 drones versus 0 drones. But I would expect that Parting's going to carry this out normally. He's going to go ahead, go up to like 8 gates pretty soon here, get that blink, get that +2, and see if he can get some real damage done.
Well, the Oracles are going to come in and try poking again. The gateway wall is getting set up over here for Parting. Again, the 2 Oracles, though, not doing that much, which is still okay. Obviously, be more ideal for Protoss. He does see the tech, though.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is we just saw this hive start, and Parting scouting it as early as he possibly can. He just canceled his Robo, which is a very good move, because this is really obviously looking like a Viper Rush. So he's going to need to get a Templar Archives if he wants to actually fight against those Templars and Spies.
So far the tech patterns here really favoring Parting. We'll see if Life opts to mix it up. Sometimes when you get scouted, you just naturally shift into another tech.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of this game just sometimes comes down to. Is just out, going in a better tech direction, faking them out. Some of the greatest games you've seen have just boiled down to simply one guy got a misread because his opponent duped him with some cool placement or maybe making a building that he'd never used in his tech pattern. So we'll see if this game, turns out to be one of those games.
Well, it looks like right now Parting is really focusing on putting a little bit of pressure on at the moment. He sees quite a few Hydras. He knows the Hive is on the way. He is about to have Blink. So I'm wondering if he's going to fully commit to any sort of attack here. I would say that there's no way for him to truly kill. Like, I think the best he could do here is shave off some Hydras at the cost of a ton of Sentry energy.
Yeah, let's see. If it was just Roaches out here, it might be a different story. But with the Hydras out, the force fields are not as handy. They just still do so much damage. Nice tagging there by the Oracle. And he looks pretty serious about this Artosis. He's moving up here. He's making proxy pylons. Now notice the area where they don't want to push any further. There's a bit of a no man's land in here.
Yeah, that's right. This little choke area is pretty tough for Zerg to actually engage in with those force fields out.
Now occasionally you shave off parts of their armor and then you loop around to the top here and try pushing that way as well. Oh, nice. Almost gets that queen. But we have him coming in here for a flank.
Yeah, it looks like Parting wants to get some sort of nice engagement here. Loses that Mothership core, kind of a big deal.
Yep, cannot recall back home easily with that.
Lost a... I don't... Well, wow, this is a very brave move. A nice force field wall going down, and Parting has successfully taken out a third of the army.
Now, Zerg is nearly maxed out right now. It's at 172 supply to the 122 here for Parting, but Parting really confident in his control here, is continuing to push forward here. Got to be careful not to lose these sentries that are over here in the front.
Really nice blinding cloud. How many force fields does Parting truly have left here, though? Because those are absolutely key. Not that many. This is basically the last big force field wall we're going to see. Beautiful blinding cloud goes down there by Life, and still, though, he's going to lose a few Roaches.
Yeah, these Stalkers nowhere near as effective. More force fields come down, but I think that might be a little bit too much that broke through there. That's a lot of damage, killing off a lot of sentries.
Yeah, I mean, he's still picking off some units here, which is really nice. Parting very good with his micro, with his control as we see, but those blinding clouds, almost impossible to micro around.
Yeah, there's just not much you can do. You set up the force fields that look pretty good, but then the blinding cloud comes down. The position you gained there that you would have won tactically, it doesn't matter anymore. It's been nullified.
Yeah.
So Parting is backing up now, but this is pretty bad here. 102 supply to 177. And a strong chance of Zerg both taking a fourth base and probably counterattacking to your third or your second.
Yeah, I think the counterattack here is too strong. If he didn't have Vipers, if this was just Roach Hydra, I would still look at Parting's army and say, no, you are not holding on to your third base.
The Vipers take out any key units that positionally you need to win a fight. In this case, it's just a bunch of Tier 1 units.
Yeah, I mean, Blinding Cloud against Stalkers is amazing, as we saw. That really helped him in the previous engagements. And without sentries,
whoa.
He's spending every drop of gas remaking sentries right now, which means no splash damage. And you cannot hold on forever against a unit comp like this without splash damage.
Yeah, the tech is so stifled here. He blinks forward. Now he's going to try to back up a little bit, but that might have been an overextension now. Sentries have a little bit of energy left, but I don't know if they can hold this off for much longer. And look at this. He sees the force fields there. He says, okay, whatever. I'm going to come down here and get this space instead. Also, not an easy angle here for Protoss to try to engage. He might even try targeting down the Nexus.
Well, right now, Parting coming around from an interesting angle from behind, kind of flanking him against that Nexus. See, we don't have too many force fields. Great Blinding Cloud going down. He does have some Zealots mixed in to actually help out against that, though.
Those
and
roaches,
some great micro from Parting.
Roaches, okay, there they are. I thought they were turning around for a second, but they're going to come down now, hitting from all these sides. This is how you take out Stalkers. Blink is a lot less useful if you're surrounded from all sides.
Yeah, certainly the case. Parting going to go ahead, run out of the middle there. Still has his third base, but he's definitely lost most of the probes there, if not all the probes there.
Parting is at 94 supply, and Life is going to go with the hold the R key strategy on his keyboard and just keep making roaches. And I think this game might essentially be over.
Yeah, it's really looking like it, but, you know, Parting, there's no reason for him to leave when he has +2 and Blink. If he gets just a good, lasting engagement, maybe there's something he can do, but this is just way too many roaches right now.
Well, he's trying to blink back. The best Blinding Cloud you could ask for right there is going to make a lot of those Stalkers basically useless. In fact, Parting is stuck making Stalkers now. Since if he makes another unit, it's going to snowball and he's probably going to lose. Now, when Protoss is just making Stalkers, it means he's either really winning or he's really, really, really losing. In this case, he is losing. GG. Life is up 3-1.
Ooh, that is some scary stuff for Parting. You know, Parting, his 2 Oracle opening, not really getting that many kills.
Yeah.
But he got some great scouting intel. Such great scouting intel that he's changed his strategy and went for something else. He went for that quick attack after canceling a robo, but it didn't end up working out. So, you know, he may have to rethink it if Life wants to use a strategy like that again.
Artosis, we saw a standard game. Yes, that Oracle was outside of his base, but it wasn't that crazy. Life way outclassed Parting in a normal game.
Yeah, in this one, his defense was just too strong. Parting continued to try to get a nice engagement there. You know, he utilized the terrain very well. He utilized his force fields very well. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to break through Life.
Well, Parting needs a miracle now. But hey, man, anything can happen. We've seen stuff like this before.
Well, he's got to win 3 in a row here, Tasteless, and that is a tall order against the best Zerg in the world.
Well, let's see what he can come up with. The standard game did not go well there for Parting. He might want to go back to some more crazy strats. We'll see. I think Life will probably play more textbook-like from here on out in this series.
Yeah, I think that from here, Life, well, you know, he can mix up. He can do some cheeses, but he's reacting so well against Parting that he may want to react in the early game and then choose what to do after that.
We're going to